Today, we are heading to the absolutely magnificent ancient city of Petra, the one carved right into the desert cliffs of Jordan. And we're going to zero in on its most famous monument, the treasury. But we're not just looking at its incredible facade, we're looking for a remarkable secret that was hidden right beneath its floor for 2,000 years.
For all its fame, its appearances in blockbuster movies, and the millions of tourists who have stood right in front of it in awe, the treasury has held its secrets very, very close. But a recent discovery has finally started to pull back the curtain, answering the big question, what was really hiding just beneath the surface of this iconic structure?
So, to really get why this new discovery is such a huge deal, we first have to appreciate just how famous and, honestly, how mysterious the treasury really is. It's so much more than just a beautiful movie backdrop.
The scale of its fame is just immense. We're not talking about some obscure ruin here. This is a global icon, one of the 7 wonders of the world. And of course, thanks to Indiana Jones, a whole lot of people picture it as the final resting place of the Holy Grail. With over 1 million visitors every single year, it's got to be one of the most photographed ancient sites on the entire planet.
But here's the real puzzle. Despite all that attention, all those cameras, no one was ever really sure why it was built. Was it a temple? Maybe a library? Or was it an actual treasury, just like its name suggests? For centuries, its true purpose has been one of archaeology's biggest, most fascinating unsolved mysteries.
So, that's the mystery that drove a modern team of researchers to take a closer look. But instead of just showing up with picks and shovels, they brought in some serious technology to see what the naked eye couldn't, hoping to finally uncover the truth. The lead geophysicist, a guy named Richard Bates, he explained their mission perfectly. See, other tombs have been found around Petra, but they were all empty, looted long ago. The real prize, the thing they were really hoping for, was to find a burial site that was totally undisturbed, a little time capsule left behind by the city's builders, the Nabateans.
So, how did they pull it off? Well, their approach was super methodical. First, they got permission to even try this. Then, they brought in ground-penetrating radar. Think of it like an X-ray for the Earth, to scan the ground in front of the treasury. And that's when they found it. A void, basically a hidden empty space under the rock. The final step, though, was the most delicate, actually getting to it without destroying the ancient structure itself.
Finding that void was one thing, but actually getting inside? That was a whole different ballgame. This was the moment of truth, where all that modern science had to give way to careful, painstaking manual labor.
So, the problem was pretty simple, but it was a big one. The void was located directly under the treasury's forecourt. Just drilling or digging straight down would have meant cutting right through the ancient floor, causing irreparable damage to a World Heritage Site. And yeah, that was obviously not an option.
So their solution was to come in from the side. They started digging a tunnel, horizontally, completely by hand. Can you just imagine the tension? The amount of care required, slowly moving earth and rock, inch by inch, getting closer and closer to a space that hadn't seen the light of day in 2,000 years.
And then they broke through. And what they found inside wasn't treasure. Not in the way you might think. No gold or jewels. It was something far more valuable to archaeologists. A direct, personal connection to the people of Petra.
12. That's the number that changes everything. Inside that hidden chamber, the team discovered the remains of 12 humans, and they were remarkably well preserved right in their original burial site. And it's the details here that make this so extraordinary. This wasn't just a collection of bones. It looks like a family or a community group with men, women, and even children. And get this is the first time complete burials have ever been found right here. That's a massive breakthrough. There are even these incredible human touches, like one skeleton that was found still grasping a piece of a broken jug from the 1st century BC.
So, okay, finding skeletons is incredible, but what does it actually mean? Why is this one single tomb so important for understanding the entire city of Petra and the whole Nabatean kingdom that built it?
Well, as Richard Bates explains, you see, science can learn a little bit from an empty tomb, but it can learn a tremendous amount from the people who were actually buried there. Their bones can tell us about their diet, the diseases they might have faced, their social structure, maybe even their genetic lineage. This is a direct line to the past.
The impact here is crystal clear. Before this discovery, we had empty tombs and a lot of educated guesses. But now
Now, archaeologists can study the very first intact burials from this site, giving them direct evidence about Nabatean life and death. And maybe most exciting of all, it might finally give us the clues we need to solve that original mystery. What was the treasury really for?
And as incredible as this find is, it might just be the beginning. Seriously, the story of Petra is still being written, and this tomb may have just unlocked the next big chapter.
Remember that ground-penetrating radar? It didn't just find one little anomaly. The scans also showed signs of other hidden voids in the same area, which strongly suggests this discovery might not be a one-off. And this leads to a pretty tantalizing conclusion from the research team. They believe it's highly likely that there are more tombs, more burials, just waiting to be discovered right there, literally beneath the feet of millions of unsuspecting visitors. You know, for a place we thought we knew so well, it turns out we were really only scratching the surface. This discovery proves that even the world's most famous, most visited places can still have profound secrets to share. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What else is Petra still hiding?